What is good, y'all? SmooveGotGame, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame back with another episode with these Pirates, baby. We're getting kicked off in the month of August, trying to slow the season and pace down here a little bit, coming fresh out of looking at our newly acquired draft picks. If you guys missed that out, go check out the last episode, man, so you guys can rock with the new draft picks that we got coming in next year. See if any of them are going to be some help for us and see how good they are. But here today, we're going to get into a full game here with Jackson Wolf coming off of a game here against Milwaukee where they are leading the series right now 2-1. And we're trying to go ahead and even this series back up and keep our lead here in the division. So we also will be having some minor league games here too as well. Just dropping down to check in on those guys after looking at our new signing prospects to see how some of our old prospects are doing. But as you can see here, we only got a half game lead on Milwaukee right now. So this will be huge to get a W here because their loss will flip the standings and put them on top of us. So we got to have a great game here coming from Jackson Wolf, who has done great this season so far as a starter. Been a solid guy for us here, especially one when he doesn't have like an extremely high ceiling, but he's produced, I feel like, way better than his numbers and attributes here would show. And so I wanted to take a quick look at some of his stats here as they didn't pop up there before the game. 17 starts this year, 8-6 record. ERA is at 4.2, but he's had much of the season where he's been at 3. I'll give it about 55 home runs, 15 home runs in 117 innings. Almost more strikeouts than he did last year in way less time. The whip is lower, and he's had a lot of quality starts too as well. So it's been a very good starter for us and did good in his long relief work when we've had to move him over there because he was struggling. So he will get the nod here today to go ahead and shut down this Milwaukee Brewers offense. And the first thing he does is get Christian Yelich to hit the curve on the ground. And Rob Key making the play over there at second base, still in the starting lineup for us. As I look down below, we got some award favorites going on down below too, as well as the second batter. First pitch he sees is on the ground, and we throw him out too, as well as we want to highlight quickly. It should show that Julian Cortez is one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year. I guess it's kind of just showing like the top 3 out of both conferences together. If there's only one award, I think he would win that even if both conferences were combined together the way that he's playing this season. So we'll have to keep track of his numbers and see where he kind of finishes out here. This is going to be a fly ball that'll get down just in front of Reynolds. Not enough speed, but thankfully Crow's got the speed to go ahead and cover behind him. We actually got our first base hit here of the game for the Brewers. Now to bring up Wilson Contreras with a runner on first here early to see if they can get any kind of offense, get to Jackson as soon as possible. But that 4-seamer is going to hit the black there. Great paint job as we're going to go ahead and go up against Jason Junk, who actually, I know the low stats there might seem like maybe he's a rookie coming up, but no, this is actually an old veteran. I think he's like 32, 33. Just hasn't been with the Major League Club all year, so coming up to fill in the spot. And so far in his lone start, he did pretty good, but he's going to have to contend with our high offense here. Rob Key still leading off for us, batting .271 this season, come down from his .300 that he had when he's sitting near the bottom of the order. But still done a pretty good job overall up here at the top to get the lineup started, to get to our RBI guys. So we'll have to see what Jason Junk has to throw at us as he's throwing some junk on the ground for out number 1. Reynolds still hitting above 300. Can't believe we got somebody actually doing that this season and we don't have more wins. It's probably because everybody else in the line of around 270, 260. While we just have this one big standout, because he's also hitting 300 with almost like 20 bombs, I think, this season. If he doesn't have 20 already, he's close to it. But that will not add to that total that's popped up. Good lead time 4-seamer up in the zone, but just got underneath it as that pops up for out number 2. And we'll bring up Pete Alonso, who's been struggling here recently to get things moving. So we'll have to see if that bat comes back alive here today. Ooh, that was a 4-seamer put right in a good spot, but the great dive there by short. And the throw goes over from the knees. As you can see, we have Pete Alonso playing DH today. Julian Cortez will be in the field. Pete was just feeling a little bit tired, but still did want to get some at-bats in today. It's being a crucial series for us, so you didn't want to be taken out of the lineup completely. So we, accommodated to him, let him play some DH today, let Cortez run first. Gives us a chance to see what Cortez can do at first outside of the DH role. I think Cortez is the only person we have that can actually play first. That's a backup anyway. So, I mean, he would have played first regardless of if Alonso wanted to play DH or not. But he didn't want to get his bat here in the lineup. But here goes Cortez. First chance to make a play, and he bobbles the ball. Throw back shoulder. Ooh. I got to say, like, that kind of negates each other out. I mean, terrible fielding job there. Could have been a double play to end the inning. But great toss backwards without looking to the pitcher. It looks like we might be able to make up for it as Reynolds is going to have to range back in the outfield. He will make the play here, but the runner will go ahead and move all the way up to third base. Vondell Bruin up for the Brewers. Hopefully I said his name right, but batting 189. We can just kind of go at him with no fears. That curveball will be whacked right up the middle. Low batting averages can still hit too. It's just at a very lower clip, and he's able to get on. And then Victor Robles, who also has a low average at the bottom of the order, will get a chance to hit with the runner in scoring position as Bruin steals off for second base. And with 2 outs, this is going to be a base hit into the outfield. Reynolds is going to have to come in throwing the ball. He will fire to the plate. This throw will be up the line and not in time. RBI single for Victor Robles. It is a 2-0 early lead here as the Brewers have gotten the bottom of the order to get some offense here against Jackson Wolf. Wasn't able to do it with the top half. Yelich, 0-2 count here. Swings through the two-seamer downstairs. So still top half of the lineup quiet, bottom half getting to us. Maybe we'll have the similar results here against Jason. As now they still have to face some tough bats here. Santander hits this one towards the gap in left center field, and it will just barely be gloved in. A little farther to the left, maybe that's a hit, but that one just kind of hung up there for what seemed like forever. And then a 12-6 curveball up in the zone for Cortez. This one's going to go almost in the exact same location, but it'll get down up in the corner. But 20 speed is not going anywhere, as that's just going to be a double, where for most people that probably will be a triple. As O'Neal Cruz will now have a runner in scoring position for himself. And this could be a good chance here to get one back at least. Upstairs slider. He's going to take this one out to deep center field. This ball is traveling towards the wall, and it is gone. 2-run home run for O'Neal Cruz. It is a round tripper. Load the cannonballs. That's home run number 16 on the season for him, as Cruz single-handedly ties his game back up. It is now 2-2. Now, just imagine if Santander's double had got down. We could have been up 3-2, but it's all right. We just happy that we got the lead back tied. The bats are showing some life here. We got plenty of game to keep it going. Pete Crow Armstrong now with 2 outs here, trying to get a rally, maybe start it back up again, as this will go towards the gap in right center field. That'll hit up against the wall pretty hard. Will he have 3 in him? He will not, as he will just chase into second base. That's a lot of speed there at second, so we'll have to see if he takes off for third. He's going to be quiet here, as that line drive will be caught in left field. Now before O'Neal Cruz takes the lead back for the Pirates. As we're able to tie this back up, we'll go ahead here to the top of the 4th inning after quiet third innings from both teams. As Jackson Wolf getting off a leadoff base hit. Finally starting to quiet down a little bit here as we get the pop out to left. As I do gotta say, I like Jackson Wolf's stuff. Not a heavy strikeout guy, but he's got very effective off-speed pitches. The four-seamer is not going to kill you with speed, but it does come in pretty effective in that curveball. I mean, if he does need to get a strikeout, though, or at least the ground ball, that curveball, very confusing to get on top of, as this is going to be a fielder's choice to second base. I thought we might have had the double play there. Just a step too late, as the inning will continue. And because it did, that ball is going to be taken to left field. If you don't get your outs, you're going to have to go up against that curse of the home run. It's a 2-run shot for Victor Robles. Yet again coming through clutch for his team with more RBIs. Came in batting sub 200. Is now well above that most likely. And also has his 3rd home run. How we give up a home run to him of all people, but guys like Henry Davis and Anthony Santander getting good contacts and just popping out, I don't know. We need Jackson Wolf to calm down, just get out of this inning. We've scored 2 before quickly. We should show that we can get 2 more. As he does get the pop out here to Santander, who will just range in front of him a couple steps. Get the final out. Now before Victor Robles obviously takes the lead back for the Brewers, and we'll jump ahead bottom 6 now. As things have still been quiet for both sides. You can see why, as there goes a strikeout on the outside. They are in the bullpen here now with Trevor Miguel, getting the 1st and 2nd outs here of the innings, respectively, off quick pitches and quick at-bats. Leading up to Pete Alonso here coming up. And the first pitch he sees, he'll go take this to the left side. Great range to the left. He'll have to stop and throw backside, and that throw will be offline. We'll take any break we can get. We'll take the, and actually gonna give that a base hit. I'm guessing they're saying he would have been safe regardless. So I mean, we'll take that. No error on the play. And that'll leave up Santander with a full count now and a chance to make something shake here. They're actually gonna prefer to pitch to the rookie. Trevor's gonna have to face off against Julian Cortez. He's just as dangerous as the two men in front of him. So I don't know if this was any better for you. Swinging through that 100-mile-per-hour heat upstairs, hitting 101 on the gun that time. Come right back with a slider that's also hitting 90. But this is going to go out to left field, way back at the warning track, and it's gone. Both home runs have come via the slider. Two different pitchers, same results, as that is a long shot. Number 26 on the rookie season. He is an amazing rookie. Can you guys, last time, I don't know, maybe somebody pull up the stat track. When was the last time a rookie had 25-plus home runs? I want to know who it was, and I am willing to bet that it probably was a Hall of Famer. I'm gonna look stupid if it's not. It's gonna be some random person that played 1 year at the majors and then went to the minor leagues after that. Let's watch. But 26 home runs his rookie year is crazy. Hitting in the 4 spot and then scoring in 2 big guys in front of him. And the inning is not done there as they went to the bullpen to get Bruce Wilson, but the first thing he does is walk O'Neal Cruz over to first, leaving Brian Hayes a chance to keep the inning going. But the first pitch he sees will be a pop-up to second base. And that'll go ahead and end the 6th, but not before the young rookie gives us the lead. We'll hand things off to Jordan Hicks now, our long reliever. 3.66 ERA. We just want him to go ahead and come in, try to take care of this 7th really quick, maybe even the 8th, and let our closer close out in the 9th here. And one thing I do forget about Jordan Hicks too, when pitching with him, is he's actually like a flamethrower now. He can hit triple digits with the 4-seamer. His sinker ball is hitting 97, 99, can almost hit triple digits as well. And he's got the great screw curve and, to kind of bounce off of that too as well. So I honestly be forgetting just how versatile he is. As we get the first out there, then this one's going to be a liner out to the left field, and that'll get down behind the glove. I don't know how he missed that. Hold on. Brian Reynolds, I swear, is such a defensive liability. If he wasn't hitting 320-something home runs, I don't know if he'd still be in the line. That was crazy. That went right in between the glove, but hopefully we can still just get out of this. I mean, we do have our sinker baller in here, so a couple of ground balls would be great here as we get a screw curve on the ground of Hayes. Great play over there at third base by the former 2-time back-to-back Gold Glove winner. And Cortez digs it out the dirt. Great first base play there, and then a base hit goes out to the outfield. Santa's going to have to come in and get this one. He's going to have to fire to the plate. He spins, throws, and it'll be up the line. Wilson Contreras ties the ball game for the Brewers, and we'll have to see if they are done here in the top of the 7th. Sal Frelick is up next, and he's got a full count here. As Jordan Hicks might be losing the control a little bit, as that's going to be a high fly ball out to the gap. It's going way back into right field. Pete Crow is there at the wall, and it's going to actually hit off the top of the wall, I guess, here. I guess Pete thought it might have been a home run, but it's back in the yard. They're going to have to throw it to the plate, as that one is not going to be in time. A home run, but of the inside the ballpark variety. I cannot believe we just gave that up. I don't remember the last time I've seen an inside the park home run and it's actually given up to us and not with the guy on our team with 99 speed. And then 2 pitches later, Brock Wilkin goes in and takes a long ball out to the same part of the ballpark, showing Pete what an actual home run looks like. And just that quickly, how we had a 5-4 lead, it is now 8-5 as they come back and score 4 of their own. Isn't that crazy? 2 runs apiece, and then we score 3, they score 4. And now let's go and complete that run. Let's go ahead and score 5 the next inning, please, so we can get a nice little cushion for ourselves. As they're going to their bullpen, bringing in Yancy Alamante. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning now, after taking their lead back and making it big, 8-5. It'll be up to the heart of our order, though. Brian Reynolds to lead things off here. 1 for 3 on the day. Gets a sinker ball low. And got underneath it to pop this one out to the outfield. That'll be out number 1. And there goes a check swing by Alonso coming all the way out of the batter's box. They're going to say he went around out number 2. And then Santander chops this one on the ground right into the shift. If he's not there, I think we get a base hit. Because he was, it's a G6. And they're going to have to go to their closer now here in the bottom of the 9th. Joel Payampas as he'll have to face kind of the second heart of our order here. It'll be Cortez O'Neill going back to back here, seeing if they can get on base to keep the game going, as Cruz swinging over top of that one, looking silly. The 0-2 pitch from Joel will be outside. In on the hands. That's another slider. Can he take that one out of the park? And it does not have enough juice behind it. That'll just be a line now. Then O'Neill Cruz right behind him. He gets a four-seamer on the hands, but getting underneath this one a little too much. A center fielder will get underneath it. And we're down to our final out here being Brian Hayes here. Bottom of the ninth. 2 outs. First pitch he sees is chopped right back to the pitcher. That one's got to hurt. It probably could have been a base hit to keep things in hope alive, but the pitcher makes the play, gets it over to first base, and we walk out of here with an L to the Brewers. And losing our first place spot here is not enough offense, man. I mean, 7 hits today. Thank you for Junior Cortez getting 2 hits, 3 ribbies. Cruz got 2 RBIs of his own, but those 2 home runs were pretty much the only offense we saw today. No hits batted around. And after that disappointment of a game, let's get to some hopefully good news here as we check out some of our lower level prospects. Herbert Bill, probably the best one in the organization here, has seen a giant boost as he's up to 76 overall now. Could potentially be a very solid prospect with us at that A potential. Been doing great at AAA, 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, and a lot of boosts going up, batting .279 this season. He's somebody that I would consider bringing up to the postseason roster if I thought this was the World Series year. But considering I don't know how the season is going, we've gone in and out of first place so many times this season, but we've held it for, I guess, a majority, you could say. I don't know if he'll be in part of the September call-ups. If we have a really good lead and I'm starting to feel better about the team, he might be somebody we call up because that power right there, it didn't get out, but you saw the swing. Could definitely be something we could use extra of, especially coming off the bench and especially in our outfield. At a position where Pete Crow is not playing all that well. He could end up possibly taking over that spot, because if you gonna hit like this, I'm gonna find places for you. Solo or 2-run home runs. I didn't see the runner on that time. His 15th of the season. Exit velo of 106. That thing was a stinger missile right off the bat. It makes this shutout for both sides a 2-0 lead for the Knights. He's come a long way, seeing big boosts in his contact, his power, his vision, and even his fielding. I think the fielding is the spot that we were waiting for the most on him, so he can take over. But he's got speed, he's got steal ability, he is definitely somebody that I can see next season, because I'm very on the fence on if I want to bring Pete Crow back or not. And Drew Jones isn't doing it either. So he's definitely somebody that we're looking at that could possibly take over that center field role when I didn't even think this would be an issue for us. As you can see here, 82 speed is going to go and take off there, but it'll be a walk, so we don't get to see him steal off at second base. With a 4-0 lead here, Edgar Collado is going to be up to bat, and he swings through the pitch outside. Doesn't matter because we get the victory anyway. But yeah, Herbert Bill is definitely somebody I see coming up to the lineup and possibly making the team next season. He'll definitely, I think, get a spring training invite at the very least, and go ahead and start that 3-year clock on himself of how many times we can send him down and up. I think that center field spot right now is looking like it could potentially be his, as long as he has a strong spring, or maybe even left field, to just let Pete Crow maybe get that spot back or go to free agency, let Herbert go to left. I mean, the only thing that's holding him back is his arm strength, really. So if he can get that up a little bit better and field better, center field could be his too as well. Now here in game 2, we want to check out another B potential prospect that we drafted in that same draft class there, Patrick Robert. As he's a second base prospect with B potential. He's been seeing very good boosts all season, and ever since bringing him up to AAA, he's batting .323 up here, so definitely holding his own and actually showing a little bit of pop here too, as well as that 43 power almost got up out of here. And that's a 4-seamer well out of the zone too. They're going to throw him back upstairs on the 2-seamer. He's going to take this one out to center field. Not enough power as the first time around though, as that'll be gloved in. And Patrick is somebody that I could see possibly making the roster too. I mean, he's got a little bit better defense, but we're still working on that for him too as well. And we're just kind of looking for different spots to fill in. Tamar Johnson's been playing kind of Right now we got Rob Key right there. But if Patrick's able to see his potential and get up there to the 80 soon, especially if he's going to be hitting 300, I mean, he might be somebody else that gets a spring training invite just to see how close he is to being MLB ready, as this throw will be gone over as Edgar Collado hits into the double play to end the inning. Looks like we did not walk away with the W this time around. I was trying to learn the AAA teams, but Shout out to Patrick Robert. They're getting the hit. Herbert Bill went 0 for today. Ethan Salas, 1 for 3, 2 RBI. Somebody that we won't talk about today because we got him via trade, not drafted, but he's been playing good too ever since coming over that trade. He'll get a spring training invite for sure to see if he can fight for that backup catcher role and maybe even take over for Henry Davis. If he does start to decline, he's getting older, near age 27. But here in game 3 at AAA, we want to go ahead and focus on a third baseman. Brian Hayes has been struggling with this bat, and maybe there's somebody down in our system only at a C potential that could potentially take over for him as Edgar Collado gets the base hit into the outfield here, moving the runner to the corner. And we actually thought about taking off for second base. Not going to do it, though. We get just back to first. But Collado is a C potential prospect that we drafted late, I think in that same first draft, too, as well. That draft was loaded with a bunch of position players that we could be seeing here soon. As he's a C potential prospect, he's hitting very good, though. 277, which probably just went up after that last hit, maybe around 280 on the season here at AAA. Whether he gets a spring training invite or not depends on how he finishes these last 2 months. The other two I feel like are pretty much locked with where they are. Can't see them having that much of a slot where I wouldn't want to see them. But Collado, as long as he keeps playing like he is now, we'll get that invite too as well and see if we could be having somebody fight for that third base spot. Or if I'm going to go pick somebody up in free agency, we're going to keep eyes on that. We're getting closer and closer to what I think could be a World Series team. So we're going to keep our eyes more and more open on free agency and kind of less and less on these minor leaguers. So anybody that's ready to make an impact better make an impact this season, because my eyes are starting to close in certain positions that I could go potentially fill with a big name. Now, of course, they'll still be open on spots that don't have a big name at them. So if there's no third baseman, Edgar Collado, you still be in my eye focus. But if there is I'm trying to think of some big name third baseman in the game, like Rafael Devers. If he's available, we might have to go pick him up as his throw will go over to first base, and we got him in time. And that's kind of being a big problem there for Collado. You saw he kind of fumbled that ball at first, so the defense is a little bit of a question mark for him, so we wouldn't have our same gold glove type of third baseman like we do with Brian Hayes. But did we upgrade the bat to lower the defense? We definitely won World Series like that before where the defense was questionable, but the bats were just too good and the pitching was good, so we could hide the defense a little bit. So I have to see if we can win with maybe that's a similar formula to that. Here's this going to be a ground ball, and look at this, right off the foot of Edgar Collado. That should be like a, if that had been an out, that should have been like a 5-6-3 out, because that was definitely off his foot right to the shortstop. Wasn't able to make the play though. We actually get out of here, it looks like, with the dub though, 4-3. So shout out to the squad here. Patrick Roberts getting a hit, Salas getting another one, Herbert getting 2. It looks like he got another RBI as well, getting up to 58 on his 18th double. And Quinn Priester getting a good start in there, 7 innings of work. Alexis Santos, 37 save. I'd love to highlight him, but it's kind of hard to highlight the bullpen, so I just kind of have to guess a game where he was coming in and closing in and get a game in. But let's look at the stats here really quickly. Nick Gonzalez still leading AAA despite being out with injury for a while. And hits with 99. Bill's at 93, getting close to 100. And Nathan Church is almost at 100 as well. Bill and Nick Gonzalez both at 15 home runs, despite Gonzalez hasn't played in forever. Now, he did see a drop in his potential from a B to a C, but it looks like he was playing good before he got hurt. The only thing that was bad for him was the average at 261. Probably was serviceable, though, where he could have maybe even made a move to come up. You see Herbert Bill, the only one that looks like double-digit steals with 13. 320 average there for Patrick Roberts. 429 on base percentage. And if we look at our pitchers here, Alexis Santos is 37 saves compared to his 2 blown. Definitely was most likely going to be on the roster next season. Maybe even move our closing pitcher. I've thought about just changing his position to a reliever and just let him be a reliever and go get me another closer for the minors. So we can keep him and have both. And just have 2 good arms there. Rico Bourne has seen good development. I wish his stamina would. 71 overall at 22 years old. A potential prospect, but his stamina at 60-something, it's got to get better, because if it doesn't, I don't see a way that he works his way to the lineup. Now, he might, if he can get that ERA lower, work his way up. In my mind, is a good long reliever to bring him to the show. But right now, he's got plenty of work to do. He's one of the only 2 people with a 4 ERA. One of those being Thomas Harrington. Whips are pretty high for both too as well. Then, I love looking at my quality starts. 17 by Marco, 13 by Eric, Quinn Priester at 12, 11 by Thomas compared to 22. So Marco Gonzalez is looking very strong down here at AAA. He had a great year at the majors last year and could end up being one of our rotation saviors here as we're getting closer and closer to spring. As you see, the team has kind of been up and down consistency-wise. 3.2 WAR would be great to have up to as well, if we could find a way to get him back up. As you see here, though, FIP, we only have 1 guy over a 4 ERA. Rico Bourne is even underneath that. So we got a lot of good talent there at AAA. I'm really proud of that team, and I think a lot of those guys could be making an impact here soon. We're going to take a step even further back, though, and go down to AA. Looking at some more guys that we drafted here. Josh Worth being one of them here. A nice right field prospect that we have playing a little bit of center field here, too, as well, with the way his speed works as a lefty bat. Now, he's kind of had his fair share of struggles down there. He hasn't quite developed into a player that I think is even ready for the AAA level yet. But I got to say that he could be in the future plans, too, if the series gets dragged out that far. Because I think in about like 2-3 years, he might start to be serviceable, at least on the bench level or maybe even on lineup level for us, especially with my outfield being in question marks. I mean, Reynolds is getting older. Santander is getting older and his contract's about to come up. And then center field, I don't have anybody that I trust to play that position right now with their bat and defense, and not just one or the other. Now here, showing off the speed, though, with that second triple of the season. You see he's up to, I think it's at 89 speed, which is not too bad at all. Getting closer and closer to 90 speed here, which could definitely take over for center field with the decent-sized arm that he does have, both arm strength and arm accuracy. Now here we are down 6-3. Getting a look at his final probably at bat here in the game with 2 outs here in the 7th. Can he start a little rally going 2-2? Is that'll be taken? And Juan Santana, also another draft pick from us. If we got him, we was like a 47, 48 overall. We did move him up to the AA level out of single A to see if he could just get some PT to help increase that rating a little bit faster. So we get a base hit here, and we're going to take out second base. That's going to be an easy steal, but it's also going to be a strikeout. That was a perfect jump by Josh Worth there. So I got to give it to him. He looks like he could be a serviceable player here in a couple of years. You got some time, though, to wait for it. As he went 2 for 5 on a game today. Santana went 0 for. Those are pretty much kind of like the only guys that we're looking at down here at AA. I mean, a couple of these guys are doing okay, but weren't drafted by us, so we're not kind of like focusing on them. Which leads us into game 2 where we talk about actually Juan Santana. I brought him up from single A to AA and put him into the lineup just to see him play. Because he had only seen, I think, +3 boosts since the draft class that we got him in. So, I mean, he's like a 51 or 52 now, so either +3 or +4, but he just wasn't seeing too much growth in single A. I wanted to see if maybe we could get like some of these big boosts like we're getting for like Herbert Billing, guys like that, with +7s and +8s and stuff like that. But, you know, still 48 overall right now, actually, without any boosts here. That's, you know, his base level stats, a lot of that stuff, contact, power, vision, everything's kind of mid to low tier, but has a very high ceiling compared to where he's starting at now. So I want to see if maybe we forced him to get some at-bats. Would it kind of spark something for him? Of course, it's hard to do when you've gone 0 for since coming up, and here in this game, 0 for 3. Make that 0 for 4 as he gets another strikeout here. I think he went 0 for 4. Yeah, 0 for 4 with 4 straight strikeouts. I didn't enjoy hitting with him at all. But it leads us to our very last one here. Not somebody we drafted, but somebody I'm excited about. Aiden Takayatsu, who's batted, has a 2.67 ERA, closing in on 100 strikeouts here at AA. And he's seeing some phenomenal boosts to his overall as well. I think he's up to a 71 overall. So I definitely wanted to get in a game here with him, because this game right here, you saw Thomas Harrison has a 4 ERA and a 4.2 FIP. So, I mean, both of those numbers are very high. So I wanted to get in one final game here. You could call this the, since we're close to college football, you can call this the position battle. If y'all remember from NCAA. This is a position battle game. If he does well enough, I will consider making the move to move him to AAA and move Thomas down to AA. Now here in the first, after showing off some good pitches there, he actually gives up back-to-back base hits here. And it actually leads to runners being at the corners now with only 1 out here. So we'll have to see how he pitches himself out of this jam. Four-seamer's not going to blow by you. It's only hitting about 94 or so. They're on the gun 94, 93. This will take out the deep center field. The throw's going to have to come in quickly here. As it's going to reach the cutoff man before the plate even gets made. Runner will score. It's tied 1-1. Here goes Cortez. Carlos variety here. Not our Cortez up at the show, but it will be a base hit just like one of ours would have gotten. As that's going to be runners at first and second, now 2 outs. And Takayatsu is not looking pretty good here. Looking like he might have to need to stay down here at AA for a little bit. He might have failed his position battles. This ball is going to go into the corner, and it will be gloved just before the wall. Only gave up one there, so didn't have to worry about giving up too much. And we'll have to see if he calms down through the rest of this game to kind of get this game back in check, as this is going to be a pop fly for Young right over the first. And immediately the thing I noticed here about Aiden is he's definitely a pitch to contact pitcher. I mean, he was not getting a whole lot of strikeouts through the course of this game, not getting a whole lot of swings and misses through the course of this game. As you see, the first 2 outs in the innings were balls put in play. And then here, a fly ball out to left field. We're going to range back and go ahead and glove that one in for him to make it through 2 innings clearly. Still only a 1-1 ball game here. We're still connecting with the bats. Fly ball to center field. Easy play. And if you guys remember where we got him from, I can't remember which player I traded from, but we did basically a series of trades last offseason. So that's why you guys got to catch up on the series, man. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, go watch them. The playlist is there for you. But we traded for him as well as 2 other starters because we were lacking in the starting pitching department. I wasn't sure if we'd find any good ones in the draft. Wish to find that out as well. Go check out last video if we found any good ones. But I made a trade for 3 decent prospects, and I gave up 3 other prospects that were actually good for us. They were AP potential prospects, but at spots that we didn't have needs from. I think there was one at third base. He had a A or B potential. I can't remember which one. We ended up trading him because we had Rob Key. There was another A potential prospect over at first base that we had that we actually drafted before our rookie of the year right now, and Cortez. But you can see how he's playing this year. So obviously we made the right choice there to go with him, and he was MLB ready pretty much off the bat and has a 99 overall potential. So obviously the first baseman was not going to see any playing time, so we traded him away to get these starting pitching prospects, and so far it's working. I think the other 2 are down at AA, but they're also down here at AA, but they're also killing it too as well. I don't think any of them are at the AAA level just yet, but Aiden seems to be having the first remarks here that could get him up there if the rest of this start goes good. And so far, we've been seeing a clean start here. We are in the bottom of the 5th, and as you've probably noticed, he's been connected with a lot of bats. I think he's only picked up 1 strikeout. And here against Jeff Adams here, they finally got their first base runner in the bottom of the 5th and getting his 2nd strikeout of the game. There's Adams swings through it. As they're back up to the top of the lineup, Cordero going up for his 3rd AB of the day. Has that runner over at first base with 2 outs in the inning. Heavily relying on that fastball. We're going to come right back here. I think that was the 2-seamer there to get the strikeout there, getting them chasing low and away. That's 5 innings of solid work here. We're going to continue things off in the 6th against Young, as this is chopped on the ground over to second base for the easy play to first. And we got him. Hook out to right field. That'll be gloved in. And then Conley right after him. Chopped on the ground. Make this easy play. Throw goes over. And while we're ending this out, man, what do you guys think? Does Aiden, if he plays a good, it would be like 2 months worth? Because I think here today, I think we've definitely seen enough of, as long as he doesn't blow these last innings, as that was caught on a warning track. I think we've seen enough to move him up to AAA, but what do you think? Is 2 months time at AAA enough to give him a spring invite, though? To see if he can compete for the rotation? I don't know. I mean, we got Jackson Wolf up there competing for us, so I mean, might as well let him come up and chest something. But we also got Quinn Priester. We have a bunch of guys at AAA that we're looking at too as well. So far, the only person I've been extremely happy with all season outside of our, obviously, 2 aces, Nestor Cortez and Mitch Keller, has been Jarrett Jones with how good he's been. But here in this game, I wanted to stay in since they brought in our other rookie, Anthony Bergerson. Just go ahead and play with him and talk about him, but it may be simulated to the end. So only 7 innings of work there from Aiden, but it was great pitching there. Only 1 earned run given up. He ends up getting the win here for us as we win 3-1. So shout out to the offense. Finally putting together a couple runs there for us so he could get that dub. Josh Schwartz getting his 3rd triple. Juan Santana actually getting his first hit and ends up being a double. Getting his first 2 RBIs too as well. So finally maybe starting his season around. That's a 14-5 record, a 2.6 ERA. Only 4 hits given up, 4 Ks. Anthony came in and pitched a solid inning of hold there for us. 1 inning, 1 strikeout. And as you can see here, 77% on the strike rate here. And kind of just looking at all the pitches, the sinker, the curve, and the 4-seamer. That curveball, 50% in the zone there. A lot of them taken, barely like swung on and missed through. The sinker was hit up a couple bit. We really relied on that fastball pretty heavily to get us through this game here. As you can see, all the ones that ended up being taken. A lot of them fouled off. A lot of them were 4-seamers, though. Swung and missed here. No curveballs at all. Only 1 was a sinker. Strikeout, only 1 was a sinker. Swung. Only 3 curveballs were even swung at, and 1 of them was for a hit. as they went perfect for that. Strikes, only 4 of them thrown. Chase, no curveball. So do got to work on this curveball break to get people to go in and swing and miss. But fresh out of that game too, I saw Thomas Harrison, 6 innings. He gave up 1 earned run. So I mean, still a 4.8 ERA. That's still really high. I did want to go ahead and make this switch here. Like I said, I think it's time. See potential prospect too at 24, 70 overall. Pitching that badly. Let's go ahead and let him develop a little bit more down at AAA level. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Aiden Takatsuchi. I hope I'm saying that name right. I know I'm saying it wrong, but that's how we're going to pronunciate it today. As we go back up to the major league level, and we actually have a little bit of a losing streak going on here as we lost all the whole week, getting swept by Detroit, getting swept by Kansas City, which would have been a 7-game losing streak at least, before beating Minnesota on the 10th. They're at Minnesota too as well, a 1-0 game. But here we lost 5-14 as Sneeze gives us 7 earned, Hicks 4, Lucas 2. Just not a good game there all around. And the offense was kind of cold through those games. So I'm switching the lineup yet again, moving Key, who is on a cold streak, down to the 6th spot. We're going Reynolds, Julian Cortez at the 2, because I have liked how he's played at the 5. But I'm going to move him up to the 2 to be our next best 2-hitter. Leave Pete and Anthony Senza there 3 and 4, especially with Pete struggling to hit. And then O'Neill going to 6. And then against lefties, we're just going to let Lee Oliver take over at the top. Reynolds 2. And then kind of keep everything the same past that, moving Key down in the lineup. Now go ahead and simulate our way through Minnesota. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like that really worked too well, as a combined amount of 5 runs through 3 games in that whole series, while they scored 11 in 1 game. But we do bounce back here against the Yankees, getting a dub 5-4 late there. And then a Jackson Wolf start here has us down 6-3. We're going to simulate through that. We lose 6-3. And in game 3 of the series, can we go ahead and take it here as Jared Jones actually has a chance to go for a complete game shutout here, possibly against the Yankees. And that's what I mean. One of our most consistent pitchers. He's always deep in the ball games, always looking to go for the complete game shutouts if he can get them. He's going to have to face 2, 3, 4 if he wants to go get it. So he's going to have to earn this one. I can't believe he's still in the 80s as far as his pitch count goes. So they really haven't made him earn too much of anything, except for that base hit that goes right back up the middle. Oswald Peraza might have been listening to me, as he does get a leadoff base hit there up the middle. But with this pitch count as low as it is, I wouldn't imagine that'd be enough to take Jared Jones out. Now, of course, this liner that drops down in the right field line might be enough, as it'll get into the corner. Oswald has enough speed to go to around third base. The throw will come to the plate and not be in time. Not able to make a play on it. A run will score, and it'll be 2-1 now for the Pirates. We'll have to send it to the end, so they don't want us to play the end of it here. As we do get the dub, though, hats off to the team. Looks like Jose Leclerc was able to go ahead and shut this one down, getting those final 2 outs and getting save number 29. Offense 9 hits as a squad. So shout out to Brian, Pete, for both getting 2, and then 3 for 3 day off Rob Key. Only 1 extra base hit too with his 15th double. Cruz gets his 18th home run, only up to 47 RBIs because the other guys are stealing them all. But that'll at least be a series victory there. As we go to end things off here, we do have more division games, as we have 3 more against the Reds, 3 more against the Cardinals late. So those games will become important for us, as we are now a game out of the wild card behind the Cardinals. A game behind the Cardinals and standing for 4th place, as the Cubs are still technically in at 8.5, but it's really a 4-team race here up at the top. 3.5 games back, guys. The Cardinals are 2.5. The Brewers are 2 games back, and the Reds are leading with 6 games against them still left for us. We're done with the Brewers. We have 3 more against the Cardinals. So that'll be kind of what we do in the next episode, man. So if you guys are ready to see that and see what happens in it, see how many of the Reds games we're able to go ahead and take, and see how much closer we make this division. Make sure you guys tune back in for the video. Hit the video with a like, comment, subscribe on your way out if you did enjoy. And it's been your boy SGG, aka SmooveGotGame, aka GM Smooth. I'll catch you all in the next video. And hopefully, even though I don't feel strongly about it being the World Series year, let's get in the postseason and let's maybe even win a series. If you guys are down to see that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm going for the day. Later.